Okay, good evening, and welcome everyone watching us from wherever you're watching us from. Good evening from where I am. I'm Joe Comfort. I'm from Blotel, and I have with me here Mr. Raymond. Mr. Raymond, welcome so much. We are so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm happy to be here. I believe we will have a lovely session at the end of the day.
Okay, we believe so too. So just get started with the business of the day. We would like to get to know you. We would like the viewers to get to know who they are going to be chatting with. So we'd like you to share with us your background and your journey to you are a global talent recipient, right, for the UK. So we want you to share with us your background and your journey to actually obtaining that UK global talent visa. Just give us a little bit of insight about you and how you got there, just to make the viewers know you more.
Okay, thank you for that. So, for anyone watching, my name is Raymond. Raymond Akpan is my name. I'm from Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State, and my background has have been more of engineering background. Sorry, I did not include. I'm a global talent visa recipient in the UK. So I
Yeah.
started from engineering background, and I did a materials and metallurgical engineering at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. And I've I'm the kind of person that is passionate about ICT. So when I finished my engineering degree, I can remember starting to look for something around, something I can lay my hands on. I wasn't successful. I tried and tried, but nothing came up. I can remember when I bring down myself, I was like, okay, because like I said, materials and metallurgical engineering is kind of related to metal work and all that. So I went to a wedding shop. I was like, okay, this is the least I can do for myself. I didn't even ask them to pay me. I just needed the experience. But unfortunately, they said no. So I was like, okay, that is it for me in relation to engineering. So I started developing myself with online learning. I went to an ICT training where I had to gain more practical knowledge in computer concept, hardware, software maintenance, engineering, and so many other things. Then I I also developed myself with Cisco security. I did CCNA in Nigeria. So when the opportunity came, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for this cybersecurity because it was kind of a very big thing in the world then. So that's how I applied to University of Sunderland. I got a master's in cybersecurity. Then upon completion, I had to go for the global talent visa, and yeah, I am.
Wow, that was a very nice one. So you mean immediately after your masters in the university, you got
Yeah,
the global talent visa? Wow, that's
yeah.
very commendable. That's very, very nice. So I would like you to tell us, like, what are the specific criteria for qualifications that are typically looked for when people are applying for these global talents? Because to me, I always thought that people have to have, like, PhD to actually have consider going for the global talent. But for you to say that you got it with just your masters, I would like to know we would like to know what are the specific criteria qualifications that people are that is basically looked for. Sorry.
Okay. First of all, I didn't just get it with only my master's degree. Like I said, I did so many online training. I did so many projects back in Nigeria. I work with a internet service provider. I did so many learnings, and Global Talent Visa is it has different sections. We have art and culture, we have science and research, and we have digital technology, which I applied under. But the big thing there is that uh, the key criteria for the visa is you have to be a leader in the digital technology sector, or you are kind of classified as emerging or a potential leader where you can be in other field doing so many other things. But the point is that you are developing yourself in a particular field, say artificial intelligence or cybersecurity. You are just trying to groom yourself to be better. And so that is the exceptional promise which I applied under. But if you know you are kind of an expert in a particular field, you can definitely go for exceptional talent. So one of the key things to really consider for this visa, like I normally tell people, is you have to be a founder in a new startup, because I did this research and I discovered some of these things. You have to be a founder in a new startup. Maybe you build an app or you start a company or whatsoever. Then you need to command a high value, let's say, salary in the digital technology sector. This is where you can work for a company and they are paying you huge money. So it proves that you are good in that field, and for you to command such a huge amount, definitely you are a high value target in the company. Then we can look at areas like financial technology. You can look at artificial intelligence. You can look at cybersecurity, big data, and gaming. So the moment you can fall into any of these categories, if you are considering the digital technology field, you should be able to go for the visa.
That was a very insightful, insight that you gave us there. I mean, I thought that, someone could be not have to be a founder to be, apply for this visa. Because I thought someone could just be like a regular employee and apply for the visa. But you saying that, someone that with being that someone that is a founder has more potential of, being granted this visa. It's, a little, so insightful, because I didn't know this. So I'd like to ask you, how can, candidates, ensure that they meet this criteria? If someone doesn't want to opt for the, if someone doesn't have enough money to probably become a founder, what can they do instead? Like, how would they meet this criteria that, the endorsing bodies are set out? Like, how do you, would you, tell people to, go around it and, kind of still get these their endorsements?
Okay, that's a very good question. So, being a founder is just an area maybe you can consider. Like if you are working for a tech sector, you don't really need to be a founder to apply for this. I've spoken with a lot of people that are like software developers that are developing, building softwares and doing so many other things. They can also apply in this for the visa. Sorry. So the most important thing is you should just try to find a way you can classify yourself. And it's a visa that requires 10 pieces of evidence, in the sense that you can do something in this field, you pull the evidence from that field. You can play a part in the other field, which you can also pull an evidence. But what I normally tell people is, when someone is looking at your evidence, they should be able to tell this is where you are going into. This is where you have a strong point, or you have a lot of evidence in this particular field. Nobody wants to look at your evidence and they are seeing evidence from cybersecurity, they are seeing evidence from artificial intelligence. It's just kind of confusing, because if you're applying for the exceptional promise, you are trying to let the reviewers to understand that, okay, I am developing myself in this field. I'm trying to become an expert in this field. So this is where I'm going into. Your other evidence can come in. Like when I applied, mere looking at my evidence, you can understand that I'm a cybersecurity professional that is trying to get into the field. But that doesn't mean you cannot see evidence of, let's say, photography that I was doing. That doesn't mean you can't see evidence of CNN article I was featured on, and so many other things. So you need to do a lot of define your niche. When you define your niche, you try to get more evidence in that area.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's very nice. Thank you so much for letting us know this. So, are
Okay.
you saying that when someone is applying, right? Okay, so what if I'm just bringing another perspective to this? Say I am say a digital marketer and I have experience in customer service, and then can I bring up these two evidences and it will be valid? Like, I mean, these are two diverse fields. Would it be valid?
Yeah.
Like, would they be able to put that together, or they would say that no, this person is, in two different fields, and we can't really, give this categorize this person into one field.
No, they cannot say that because is a talent visa, so you have to showcase your talent in every possible area that you can. I'll give you an example. I was talking to a lady that was into a different category, uh, fashion. So there was a point that she sent a mail to Art Council to make inquiries if she can include evidence from other sectors, but still falls into art and culture. So she was encouraged to do that. So you can be, for instance, sorry, I'm moving from digital technology now. You can be, for instance, a fashion designer and you had a lovely song that uh, had a good views on YouTube. That doesn't mean you cannot bring it as your evidence. So
Oh,
coming back to digital tech, like I said, the first thing you should try to understand and to achieve is to kind of define your niche, because there is a section in the visa that you have to tell. Let's say you are outside Nigeria, you have to tell, uh, make a written words telling them, okay, when I move to the UK, this is what I will do, and this is where I will live. So if you cannot have that definition of your niche, you will not be able to answer that part. So back to your question, you can bring those two evidence together just because it's 10 pieces of evidence. Normally it's hard to achieve, but let's say those were strong evidence in those different field. You can bring them in to kind of complete your 10 pieces of evidence. But the key thing is that your your 10 pieces of evidence should move in one direction. Try as much as possible to align them in one direction, in that the moment someone look at it, they can know where you will function when you get the visa.
wow. Okay. Thank you so much for giving me that insight. So now let's
Mm.
talk about the job market. We hear that this thing, like, when we hear global talent, we just, we obviously assume that, global talent, I mean, the job market should be a little different for them. So, I mean, how does holding this global talent visa, distinguish candidates in the job market? Like, are there employers outside the country, like say in UK now, that are just specifically saying we are looking for global talent visa holders? Those are the people we are looking to, employ, so that way it can be like a boosting factor for people to actually want to step up their game to get this visa and actually get into these countries. So is there like, can holding that visa actually distinguish someone in the market, especially particularly in attracting attention from international employers, like I said, and recruiters? Like, are there companies that are saying we are hiring global talents, and then they pay them very well, like they pay them better than they would pay their normal staffs that are not global talent visa holders? Like, is there that kind of distinguishment going on?
Okay, in respect to that, one thing I would like people to understand is this is a visa that you kind of show 10 pieces of evidence. You kind of prove to the UK government that you are a talent in this field. So, and at the end of the day, they give you an endorsement. That endorsement signifies that, okay, you can now be granted this visa. So if you want to look at it very well, you understand that pulling out 10 pieces of evidence and getting a UK global talent visa makes you exceptional. It kind of uh,
Yeah.
a visa that boosts your profile. So uh, if I should go back to your question, if recruiters are looking for global talent visa recipient, they might not really be looking after global talent visa recipient, but the key thing you should understand is anywhere they can see any of them, they will try to grab them, because in the real sense, you are just different from every other person. A recruiter that understands the global talent visa knows that this is not a visa that ordinary person would get. So they understand that you must have played a part, that you must have been good in a particular field before you can get this visa. So for instance, on my LinkedIn, if you open my LinkedIn, you see Global Talent Visa recipient. I get a lot of messages from recruiters trying to get me into their company, but this might not be true to other people, because they don't have the visa. So so it's good thing to have the visa, because you kind of stand out from the crowd. You kind of distinguish yourself from so many other people. Some people can include it in their CV when they are applying. Just let someone know you are different from other people that have submitted the CV.
Oh wow, that's very nice. Thank you. I know that having the global talent visa is more like an hype thing, because I mean it's not easy to get that, to actually submit that, and then people look at you and be like, "Oh, you are talent, so come get this visa." So I feel like obviously yes, it's something to be proud of. It's something to raise your shoulders
Mm.
high for. Yeah. So please, can you help us
So then,
elaborate
sorry,
on?
let me
Okay.
add to that. There is
Okay.
what you call a kind of global mobility in a global talent visa, in the sense that if you already have a sponsorship from a tech nation, that means you can work anywhere. So global talent visa can give you the power to be like, okay, I'm working for this company 6 months or 1 year. After that, I'm pulling out to get to another company. This helps you to kind of grow your career. You have more experience. So most of the recruiters understand this point, that you can switch jobs, you can develop yourself very fast. So that is why they will always come for you.
Wow. Yeah, that's very true. Because I mean, if someone has been given that, it's most likely that this person is very talented, and talented people don't just stop. Like that's what they are noticed with them. They're going to continue trying
Yes.
to climb the ladder and always go up. And yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much. So could you help us
That's
elaborate on some effective strategies for networking as a global talent? Like when you get into the international, say you have never been out of the country now. This is like for
mm,
someone, say you're in Nigeria, and then you just applied for the visa with your evidence, and you finally get it, and then you move. Like I know that with this visa you don't have to have an employment immediately to move. So what are some of the effective strategies that you would say that people that just come in as these global talents can use to actually network in that international space, so that they can get
mm.
job opportunities, all those grant opportunities in case they want to set up their own space, and stuff like that? What are the like strategies that they can effectively use to network? I mean, they're already there, they have the talent, but now they need the people and the resources to actually upscale, and so what are the strategies that you would recommend?
The first strategy to me, it will be the LinkedIn, because number one, don't forget you are coming from a different country into a new country that you've not been before. You don't really know anybody to talk to. Back home, we can ask people that are working in a different company, can you help me? This is my experience. This is what I do and all that. But moving to a new country, you don't have that connection. So LinkedIn should be your number one platform. Uh, it's a very lovely platform to kind of connect, to kind of showcase yourself. Just like I said, to me, that global talent visa recipient on my profile goes a long way for me to get
Okay.
a lot of jobs. Like there's no a month that passed that a recruiter will not reach out to me. So anybody that can utilize that strategy will be able to achieve a lot. Number two can be seminars, conference, and yeah, seminars and conference. So this is where you kind of attend a lot of seminars or conference in your niche. So by that, you can meet a whole lot of people, you can network, you can talk to people. It won't be long, you will definitely get something. Then a lot of people can also join association. Let's say I'm in cybersecurity now, I can join ISC, I can join CompTIA, I can join SANS. So these are key cybersecurity platform that you can connect with people. There will be a forum where you can contact and meet a whole lot of people. So this is where you will hear of so many of the conference seminars that are happening, which you can definitely attend. And the last point is Slack. So when you get the Global Talent Visa, there's a platform provided by Tech Nation where you can join and connect with so many other people. You will hear of job posting, you will hear of projects that other people are working on, which you can be a part of. So with this point, definitely you will not struggle when you move to the country.
Okay. Thank you so much. Like I know of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very like resourceful, but the other platforms I'm just hearing of them and I'm sure our viewers are just hearing. So it's really
Yeah.
nice. Thank you for that insight. So I would like to ask, what advice would you give to individuals that are considering apply? I know I've asked you this before, like you have said that we
Mm,
have talked about this, but just on the shallow. Advice for people that are looking to apply for the global talent visa, but are unsure, sorry, of how it aligns with their career goals. Like, am I a perfect fit? Does my
mm.
will my evidence match up? I have evidence from different fields. How do I make it align? Like, what is the advice you would give to candidates like that?
Okay, number one, because I have a lot of people that reach out to me seeking guidance on this visa. Number one is people should try and read thoroughly. There's a whole lot of information in the public domain that people can make use of. When I applied for this visa, I can remember there was just a video or two on the internet that I was watching. But now there are a lot of videos, there are a lot of people that have gotten the visa, and there are so many information. So Tech Nation as a body as well have released a guide which people can make use of this guide. That guide can tell you a lot. If you go through the guide, you will understand. Even if you need an expert guidance, the moment you ask a question, that person should be able to understand that, okay, this person has gotten a lot of information. Then they just need probably wait how they can organize their evidence and all that. But you see a lot of people ask questions like they've not even maybe go to Google to just type global talent visa to understand what it's all about. Then, yeah, that is just a very vital point. Then people should be able to seek media recognition for the visa because I believe the experts at the expert giving out this endorsement, aside from them looking at your evidence, they might just go on Google and type your name. So if they type your name, what can they see? Because you are trying to let them know that, okay, I'm a promising talent or I'm a talent in this field. There should be some recognition that tied to your name, to the work that you have done. So if they go on Google, what can they see? Media recognition is very important because if you are talented in a particular field, there should be some traces, there should be some papers, there should be some publication, there should be so many things that can be found.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, this is just, I think, a wake up call for us to start posting more and start having media publication because
Yeah.
sometimes we do things and we just leave it to ourselves. Like, I can remember when, I graduated from school, even when I went, like, those are things I don't even post about. Even when my results came out and was so good, I don't post about such kind of things. And I know I'm not the only person in this. So sometimes it's
Mm,
also good to actually, sometimes I know that we are scared of, what will people say, but if you do something major, this should go out to our viewers, right? If you should do something
yeah,
major, also post it or like give like a media kind of coverage for these kind of things because you might never know when you might need that. So post about it,
yeah.
let people know what you have achieved because you might actually need
Because
it.
yeah, we are in what they call the digital economy. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of people going on TikTok, Instagram. So
Yeah.
we are in a digital economy, so many things. If you don't push yourself, nobody will talk about you. So we have a lot of platforms that you can share what you are doing. You don't really need to care what people think or whatsoever. Just try to push yourself. It's just for you, because you don't know where someone can see what you are doing and they will like to
Yeah.
work with you.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you. So let me ask this question, right? As a person that has gotten the global talent visa, right? How important is it for this person to continue developing their skills? I know we talked about that, just on the shallow.
Mm.
Like, how important is it for them to continue to improve on their skills? Is it possible that at a certain point, if they decide to come into the country and they are not improving on their skills or anything, is it possible for this visa to be revoked from them? So if that's the case, how important is it? And then what are the methods that they can implement to continue growing their skills and growing their expertise, so that if the visa could be revoked, it won't happen to them? So what are the methods they can do for this?
Yes, very, very possible. I believe the visa can be revoked. So just
Wow.
like you've asked, the first thing should be for you to continue developing yourself, because you got the global talent visa does not really mean that you have arrived. So yes, it doesn't mean you have arrived. Maybe in the UK you are good to go. So you have to keep, like you said, okay, when I arrive in the UK, this is what I would do. You understand? This is what I would do. This is what the kind of job I would like to seek. So the moment you come in, you don't have to stop. You just have to keep developing yourself. You just have to keep learning more so that you can be fit. And why I said the visa can be evoked is because, okay, I will use myself as an example. When I first applied for the visa, I did 3 years, because it's flexible. You can do 3, 4, 5 years, even 1 year, depending on your strength at that point. So I did 3 years. And after the 3 years, you are free to extend your visa, because the endorsement is still there. So when I tried to extend my visa, there were so many questions they were asking me. They needed my bank information. They needed to see if money is still coming into the account. They asked for employment record, offer letter, and so many other things. So my payslip, there were a lot of information that I submitted before I could extend the visa. So just imagine someone coming in maybe 2 years, and you now leave what you were doing to healthcare or whatsoever field to start working. At the end of the day, when you want to extend that visa, they ask you some of this information. I don't think anybody will be happy that you got a global talent visa in digital tech and you are showing payslip in a healthcare field. So possibly it can be revoked. I have never seen anyone actually. So you have to keep developing yourself. This will help you to be open to new jobs. Then your second question is just about
The
like I
methods.
said, developing yourself.
Developing.
There are a lot of online courses, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, so many things that you can do. GitHub is there. There are a lot of open source community you can participate on. Professional certification is also important, where you can keep studying, see how you can write that exam to pass. This will help you to even have a better job. Then you can teach, you can volunteer, you can do mentorship in area that is related to your niche.
Okay, you said something that is really intriguing to me. So you said
Mm,
if someone were to apply for this visa and then the person gets it, say the person applied for digital technology. So, and you said something about the person not being able to switch. Like, is that possible? So if what if I come in and then say when I applied for the visa, I was in digital technology, but then I came into the country and then I want to explore other career options and I'm not
mm.
really feeling, the tech space anymore. I want to probably move to healthcare or something. Can't I still do that with the visa and it will be acceptable?
Uh, you can do that with the visa, like I said, if, for instance, you applied for straight 5 years from the country you are coming from. So the visa is up to 5 years. Let's say you applied for 5 years, you get the visa. The moment you arrive in the UK, you can probably do whatsoever you want to do. But is is it's better if you stay in the particular field and be loyal to your words, be loyal to the commitment that you made when you are applying for the visa. So you have plans that when you come into the UK, this is what you want to do. So I don't think is pertinent, or I don't think it's okay for you to make a switch to a different field. That doesn't mean you cannot develop yourself in any other field. You can do that, but you need to have this at the back of your mind. Let's say you applied for 2 or 3 years. You need to understand that, okay, before you extend this visa, you have to show some information. You have to show some papers that, okay, I am still earning money as a digital technology uh, specialist or whatsoever. You need to prove that, okay, you are still making money, you are still working, you are fine where you are. Without that, it might be hard for you.
Oh, okay, thank you so much for that insight. Okay, so let me ask: are there like, from your experience, as a global talent recipient, and I'm sure you also have people in your community that are also, global talent visa recipients too. From your experience, what do you think are like the specific challenges or obstacles that people like you encounter during career advancements? Like
Hmm.
during your journey in career advancements, now you are in the country, you are still trying to build on yourself. And what do you think are like the obstacles and challenges that you and people like you are facing, in that space?
Okay, I will use new people that are coming in as an example. First of
Yeah,
all, you are moving to a new country. Just like we mentioned the first time, it might be hard for you to know where you can maybe apply, how you can network with people to gain a job and so many other things. Then the weather is normally a challenge in the UK. Anybody coming in will feel the
yeah,
heat of the weather. You'll be like, oh, what's happening here? So imagine you are in a very cold city. You happen to be going to work every day. So this is kind of the first challenge, culture shock that you will encounter. And and don't be surprised because this happened to me. I applied for a job and a recruiter was telling me, I don't know what's the global talent visa, because most of them will ask you, first of all, what visa are you on? What's your stay in the UK? So the moment you mention, they will use that information to judge if they're going to give you the work or not. So I was shocking to hear that, oh, I don't know what's this visa. And I was like, this is like the best visa in the UK. Why will you say you don't know? So because you're on a global talent visa does not really mean that everybody understand the visa and yeah, the kind of person that you are or what you have done to achieve this visa. So anyone coming in new will encounter some of these problems.
wow. And the culture shock, right? I can just imagine, relocating to a new country, and then
Mm,
like how cold it is. I mean, from my side, right? I'm in Nigeria. I'm used to, the
mm,
weather. You are used to the place being hot. Maybe sometimes it's too hot, but not as
yeah,
cold. So and then you're just moving to this new place, and it's like extremely cold, and you have to stuff up. And but I mean, it could be very, very, struggling for some people.
challenging. Yes.
That it could be very, very challenging for some people. I can
Mm.
understand that. So what are the ways that you could recommend that people will use to overcome these kind of things, especially that culture shock? How do people
Mm.
get to meet people and probably adjust to the weather, like, or even network and all those kind of things, or even get jobs? Like, what are the ways you can just recommend for people to kind of handle, overcome these challenges basically?
Okay, I think like we Nigerians, the best way we do it is to find a fellow Nigerian in your city or just to make a friend. So because at that first instance, what you need is information. You need people to tell you this is where to go, this is what you can do. and you need to do a lot of research on your own, because in the UK, most of the time, if you don't seek that information, nobody will give it to you. You need to study, you need to do some digging to find out so many other things, because people will not tell you everything that you need to know. Then concerning the weather, you have to brave the cold until you get used to it.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so
Yeah.
if someone were to come into, say, the UK now as a global talent visa recipient, what are your recommendations as when it comes to probably being deciding to work for somebody or deciding to be a founder by themselves? Which would you think is better for a newbie, someone that is just coming in and really does not really understand the nation and how it works? Which would you recommend for this person to start off with? Would you tell the person to set up their own thing and become like a founder, or would you tell the person to actually work as an employee first? Like, which would you recommend?
Sorry, you mean someone coming in on the visa?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, someone coming in on the visa, I think the moment you come in, you have to do what you said,
Okay.
because you before you get the visa, you have detailed everything. There's a
Wow,
part of
including
the
what you're
visa that,
coming to do.
yes, there's a part of the
Wow.
visa that is called a personal statement. So that personal statement, they want you to state which city in the UK you want to be based. You understand? They want you to state what you will do when you arrive in the UK. So
Wow.
that is a clear answer, because as you have written that personal statement, you already state the things that you will do when you arrive in the UK. So anyone coming in, I would just advise the person to continue to tow that route that he or she said that, yeah, that's what you want to do. Just come in and see how you can work on that. If you wanted to be a founder, or maybe you are a founder already, you have to see how you can register your company, how you can maybe have a branch, have an office, and see how you can employ people. Then, if you said you want to work for a company, as you come in, you should start looking for the job as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, well, that's. But I usually hear this thingy where people say that some employers are very specific about hiring some kind of people from some set of countries. Do you think that if someone were to present, say, like some companies, for example, don't like to hire black people, say now, so would you think that if somebody was to go in now and the person is black with a global talent visa, that would probably open chances for the person?
I think UK is kind of number one when it comes to inclusion. So
Wow.
the way so many things work here is based on your experience. I'm not saying you might not have some of those challenges. You might face some of them, uh, some kind of what we call institutional racism and all that. But the point remains that if you are good in what you are doing, there's no recruiter that doesn't want the best for the company. So if
Yeah.
they can see that you are good, they will take you for the job.
Wow. Yeah, the emphasis should just be on being good, I guess. Yeah, that's
Yeah, the
very.
moment they discover you can deliver the job, that is what they want, because as a recruiter, you want to boost your profile, you want to prove to the company, okay, I can give you expertise. This is what you are doing before you can partner with any company. So uh likewise, they want to boost their profile. Likewise, they are looking for the best for the company.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Okay, so this would be a question that would target more to people that are looking to apply. So, if someone is looking to apply, right, and then which would you recommend, right? If someone is looking to apply, would you recommend that person to get guidance, or you would recommend that person to just go and read up the info about the visa and then go ahead and try to apply for themselves, like by themselves with no guidance? Which would you recommend? Do you think that getting guidance is worth it for people that are looking to apply?
Yes, guardian is very, very important because you are connecting with people that have probably been through the process or people that are expertise in that particular field. So you going for the information, you have to do a lot of reading. You have to do a lot of study because most of the challenge people have is that you see someone that the visa is kind of expiring, let's say in the next 3 months. I'm talking about people that are in the UK, and the next thing is, oh, I want to apply for the global talent visa. So 3 months is a very short period of time for you to start looking for all this information, for you to start submitting arranging your pieces of evidence, then applying. So in that situation, you need an expert guardian. You need someone that will walk you through, someone that will kind of guide you, tell you how you're gonna go about it before you can submit your application. But if you can give yourself a long period of time, let's say 1 to 2 years, and you feel like you want to do it on your own, that's fine. You can still uh, go about it. But like I said, you need to do a lot of digging. You need to do a lot of searching to get all the information before you can apply.
Yeah, that's very true. And like one time that I did check the forum, I checked I was doing some research, and the info there is quite bulky. It's quite bulky, and you need to
Yeah,
actually understand each of them, because I know for a fact that if you miss any of them, it could lead to your rejection. Anyone that you miss will lead to your rejection. Okay, so for people
yeah.
that are looking
So
to,
let me add to that because if you go through the guide, just like you said, there's a way they want you to kind of arrange your evidence. You understand? There's a way they want you to prepare your work. Just like I said in the personal statement, there section, they want you to tell all these things. I'm coming to the UK to live in all city, and this is what I want you to do. So someone that doesn't have an expert or has not gotten all this information will just go and write a generic personal statement, and that's not what they want to see. So uh, another point is that a coach or someone that is coaching you, someone that is giving you all this information, will kind of break everything down to you. The guide, you see so many jargon, so many words that you don't even understand. You reading it alone, you might be scared. But an expert guardian will be able to tell you, okay, this is what relates to you. This is how we are going to structure your work to make it easy for you.
yeah, yeah, that's very true. Okay, so now bringing it to the guidance right now. So if somebody is looking to apply, right, and the person, there
Hmm.
are so many tons of people that come out and be like, I'm an expert coach for GTV and all of that.
Hmm.
So what did you think should be like key qualities or factors that they should look for rather in these coaching providers? What are the things that probably from their profile they should look at and be like, okay, this person can solve my problem or this one cannot? Like, what are those key, qualities that they should look for in that particular, say, team of experts or that particular provider?
Okay, you are looking for expertise, people that have a lovely profile. Sorry, not just a lovely profile because someone can customize everything on the internet and make it lovely. So you are looking for expertise, people that have been doing this for, let's say, years now. Uh, you are looking for testimonial of people that have gotten the global talent visa from this person. So the moment you get that, you can know that, okay, this one is different from the others. And secondly, just like your company, thank you for the work you guys are doing. Uh,
Okay.
you are looking for people like you, let's say your founder that has gotten the global talent visa. So you don't just want to to find an expert that does not really understand the process. So someone that has gotten the visa will be able to tell you a lot. You understand? So they'll be able to guide you. They'll be able, because they have been there, they've done that, they've done everything. So they will be able to guide anyone to get the visa. Then you're also looking for people like, let's say, immigration lawyers, because they are like an expert in anything related to visa. They do a lot of study, they do a lot of understanding, and yeah, they will be able to give you a lot of information, and they might not be able to give you everything that you need in terms of let's say you want to draft an article, or like they will have to kind of walk you through to tell you everything that you need. They might give you an advice, but the bulk of the work depends on you. Don't know if you get what I mean. The bulk of the work depends on you to kind of write your piece of evidence, attach the evidence. So immigration lawyers are very good because they have a lot of information on the visa.
But okay, since you've said immigration lawyers, because but they're not really like these immigration lawyers are basically like people that are, I would want to call them jack of all trades, because they're like the lords in all of these visas. So do you think they're
Mm.
like that good? So what if some of them don't even have this, these talent visas? Because I would
Yeah.
think that someone that is looking to apply should already apply. Like if someone is like looking for a coach, right? It should be someone that has already applied for this visa and has gotten it, so that way the person can tell you from relatable experience, as
Mm.
opposed to say someone that is just telling you things that they have never done before. I don't know which would you
Yeah.
recommend actually.
Yeah. Like I said, someone that has gotten the visa will be able to give you a lot of breakdown and kind of tell you what to do, most especially uh, if or let me put it this way, they will kind of guide you because they understand when your evidence is strong and when your evidence is not really strong. So they can guide you in the sense that they can assess you and tell you, okay, this uh your application will take 6 months, your application will take 3 months, your application will take 1 year, or I want you to do this for me, I want you to do that, I want you to find a way to develop this piece of evidence and bring it so we can combine and submit your application. But why I bring in immigration lawyer is because like they have information of all the visas in the UK. So they they understand a lot about visas. Like I said, expertise is very important. Someone that has experience and expertise. But immigration lawyers also have information when it comes to uh let's say okay, like myself, I use an immigration lawyer when I was applying, but there are so many things I did not know. I didn't even know that if I submit application to Home Office, I can remain in the country. So this is where an immigration lawyer is good. I didn't even know that, okay, after submitting the application to Home Office, I have another 2 weeks to submit to Tech Nation. You get the point. So immigration lawyers know all these little uh, intricacies or point to help you apply and submit the visa.
Okay, okay. That's very nice. Keeping that split difference. That's very insightful. So another thing I would like to ask when it comes to these guidance, right? If someone was to pay for, guidance, right? What do you recommend that they actually pay for, and how do they, get the value for this their payment? Do you recommend that, they should pay for, someone to get their personal statement written for them, someone to gather their, like, what are the packages you would recommend that people should pay for, so that they could get the best value out of their money and actually get an insured, endorsement from, using that particular service.
Yeah, that's depends on the
Individual, yeah.
on the on the yeah individual like expert what they want to do. But I think the most important job for an expert is to guide the applicant. You kind of walk the applicant through. I and it's best if you can do it throughout the whole application. So it doesn't really make sense to say, pay me money to draft a statement for you, because statement should come from the person that is applying. You as an expert can only kind of give advice. Okay, this is what the guide says, and this is what I want you to do. So you make correction, then you can send it back to them. Then they will now write it according to what you want, because you as an expert, you know all the detailed information, you know how to structure the work because you have been there, you've done this already. So what you are doing is just to guide, to look at the work that they have submitted, to give advice, to say, okay, uh, since you are into this field, it will be better if you can get this evidence, or if you can get that evidence. So the whole process should be more of guidance, more of support. That is what applicants should pay you for.
Wow. Okay. That's very nice. Thank you so much. I guess you have actually really exhaustively spoken about this. All the questions I had on my bucket list has already been answered. So I would love you to give me, when it comes to this talent visa, right? um if I were to come to you and meet you and tell you that I'm not sure of what visa to apply for, should I apply for the talent visa or the skilled worker visa, what would you tell me?
Okay, that's a very good question. So the talent visa, uh, like me and you already understand, is a visa you need to show 10 pieces of evidence in the last 5 years. So if you have not gotten this from your previous work, from your previous experience, it's definitely a no-no for you to apply for the global talent visa. But when you look at work visa, you can tell someone, okay, look for a job and try to get a work visa. If you really want to get the global talent visa, you need some time. You need to develop yourself, because there's no magic that you can do if you have not gotten that pieces of evidence to work on, to submit. When I applied, there was nothing like interview. I'm not sure it's existing now. So this is a visa that you want to submit the 10 pieces of evidence without anybody knowing you. They don't even know uh, if you exist. So that is why that evidence is very, very important, because everything has to sync. Your picture, your names, they should be able to see that, okay, this person did this work. It can be WhatsApp chat, anything you can show as evidence. That is why your evidence takes up to 3 pages. Anything you can show as evidence, you need to bring it up so that they can see it. So back to your question, the moment you don't have it, you don't have it. There's nothing you can do. It's just for you to go back, start working on it, and give yourself a year or two. But the work visa, as long as you have someone that can sponsor you, you can go for the work visa.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Thank
Mm.
you. So I don't know, would you have like final words for our viewers, something probably you would want to say that I probably missed, I didn't ask you about, just let's final words basically.
The final word is, don't be scared to apply for this visa.
Okay.
Give it a shot, because a lot of people are scared. And also, don't be in a hurry if you want to apply for the global talent visa. Uh, it's a visa that takes time if you don't have the evidence. So, listeners should be able to take their time, give yourself 6 months, give yourself 1 year. If it's demand you giving yourself 2 years, give yourself 2 years. Draw a pattern. This is what I want to achieve within this specified time. And before you know, you'll be able to pull those 10 pieces of evidence to apply for a visa. Lastly, seek an expert's guidance, because it's something you've not done before. So you need someone to hold your hand, someone that has been there, someone that has done it. So it helps a lot. It goes a long way, because there are so many things you might miss during this process. It's only an expert that can guide you and tell you this is what you want to do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And speaking of experts and experts and people to give you guidance, so to every listener, every viewer watching, we are Glotel and we are expert coaches and we help candidates navigate the rigorous endorsements, make sure that they get their endorsement. So we'll coach you and help you prepare your personal statements and every other thing you need, how to gather your evidence will help you do all of that, just kindly just actually give you a step-by-step way to actually get across with all these things, and we will ensure that you get your endorsement. So that's what we do. But and even as a person that does not have evidence, like you said, we would have put you on a program that we call Accelerate Global Talent Visa. So this program
That's
is for
true.
people that want to have the visa, but you don't have the evidences yet. We will coach you and guide you to make sure you acquire all these evidences, and then when we feel that you are ready, you have all these evidences, then we'll walk you through on how to apply and actually get the endorsement. That is what we do at Glotel. So if you are looking to get started with your visa, you can just send us a DM. You can message us on Instagram, on WhatsApp, Glotel, or you can even visit our website www.glotel.com. That's where you would go to. So from there you could reach out to us. Our team will be very elated to talk to you. So we are coming closer to the end of our session, and Mr. Raymond, I'm so glad that you could come. I'm so glad that I had you. It was very nice talking to you. I myself learned some things because, like you said, this thing is like a vigorous thing. Like learning never stops. I
So
learned a lot from talking to you. I learned a lot about the visa, the processes, and how it could help me advance my career if I were to get it, and all of that. So thank you so much for being here. We are very happy that you could come, and I'm sure our viewers are also happy that you could stop by. Thank you so much, Mr. Raymond. We hope to talk to you again. We hope to have you on our channel again sometime in the future. Thank you so much. We are very happy that you could come. Thank you.
thank you for having me. And I want to say you guys should continue the good work that you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So that being said, I will end this live stream. It was so nice to everyone that had viewed. I wouldn't know if there are anyone that have comments here. I've seen, oh, Dennis, hi. Thank you that you dropped by. Emilia, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm very glad that you guys could join us and actually join us in this insightful webinar. I'm not seeing any questions here. If you had any questions, you can drop right now. I would attend to our coach, all right? Our guest will attend to all your questions. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. Well, in the absence of no questions, our event will come to a close. I'm really happy that we're able to have this conversation and have this, this meetup with Mr. Raymond. We are so happy to have you here, and we thank you for coming out and giving us your time. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.